What if I told you the secret to preventing thousands of infections wasn't discovered in a cutting-edge laboratory? But inside an ancient brass pitcher sitting in the kitchen of an elderly woman in rural India. For decades, modern science searched for the perfect antimicrobial surface, testing powerful chemical disinfectants, radiation, and advanced synthetic materials in an effort to stop deadly pathogens.
For thousands of years, ancient cultures stored water in copper. In Ayurveda, it's called Tamra Jal, or copper water. And all of our homes used to be plumbed with copper, not because it was trendy and because it was the best way to deliver clean water. Copper is naturally antimicrobial. It kills bacteria, viruses, and fungi on contact.
But while researchers were looking toward the future, they overlooked a practice that had quietly existed for nearly 5,000 years. It is known as Tamra Jal. Ancient healers trusted it. Modern hospitals are now racing to reproduce its effects. Yet this remarkably simple method of storing drinking water was almost erased from our collective memory. Today, we are unlocking the forgotten science behind copper and brass water vessels, and why even the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency eventually acknowledged what ancient civilizations seemed to know all along. Our story begins in 2005. A microbiologist studying traditional water storage practices in remote Indian villages noticed something that seemed almost impossible. During outbreaks of waterborne disease, families who stored their drinking water in traditional brass pitchers appeared to remain healthy, while many around them became sick. It sounded more like folklore than science. So researchers decided to test it. They filled a traditional brass vessel with water heavily contaminated with Escherichia coli, better known as E. coli, a bacterium capable of causing severe and sometimes life-threatening infections. Then they waited. 48 hours later, they tested the water again. The results were astonishing. The bacterial count wasn't simply lower. It was undetectable. The bacteria had effectively disappeared. Meanwhile, water stored in plastic and glass containers still contained thriving bacterial populations. This wasn't magic, it was chemistry. In 2008, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency made an extraordinary decision. It officially registered copper alloys as antimicrobial materials. Not because of ancient tradition, but because modern laboratory testing consistently demonstrated that copper alloys eliminate more than 99.9% of dangerous bacteria, including E. coli, MRSA, and numerous other harmful microbes. Scientists call this the oligodynamic effect. When bacteria come into contact with copper, microscopic copper ions disrupt their cell membranes, interfere with vital cellular processes, and ultimately destroy the organisms from within. That discovery explains why hospitals around the world have begun installing copper door handles, bed rails, light switches, and IV poles. In many ways, we are not inventing something new. We are rediscovering something remarkably old. But before you rush to buy a copper pitcher, there's something important you should know. Ancient wisdom also came with rules. Copper is an essential trace mineral. Your body needs it. But excessive exposure can become harmful. If water is stored for prolonged periods in certain unlined copper vessels, too much copper can leach into the water. Over time, excessive copper intake may contribute to liver damage and other health complications. The ancient practitioners understood balance. Modern culture often remembers the tradition while forgetting the instructions that made it safe. So if this ancient method works so well, why isn't it the global standard today? Why are our homes filled with disposable plastic containers instead of antimicrobial brass and copper vessels? The answer isn't science, it's economics. Industrialization rewards products that are inexpensive, lightweight, disposable, and easy to mass produce. Copper is costly, it's heavier, it requires maintenance, and it doesn't fit comfortably into a throwaway culture. Yet, the lesson of Tamra Jal still survives. Our ancestors didn't merely rely on tradition. They observed nature, they understood materials, and they quietly practiced chemistry long before chemistry had a name. Perhaps the knowledge was never truly lost. Perhaps it was simply pushed aside by a world that stopped paying attention. If this vault opened your eyes to a forgotten chapter of history, subscribe to Ancient Lost Vault and ring the notification bell. Every share helps preserve knowledge that history almost left behind. The next vault opens soon.